It was getting Walker Talks here. I'm sorry for not uploading in a couple of days. It's just been, I just like, I just been having, I just got a job, so it's just like, it's hard for me to upload every single day. One, I got a job, and the other hand, you feel me? I gotta focus on that and school too. So it's just like, I'm trying to get back into flow and stuff, and things like that. But we're literally almost at 300 subscribers. Like, literally, I'm about to upload a vlog. Like, right now, you seeing this, I'm doing a vlog. So it's just like, you feel me? I'm going to upload it at 300 subscribers, like my 300 subscribers special. So if you guys want to see that, subscribe. Like, literally, we're almost at 300 subscribers. Literally, almost there. Like, my name's going to change. The banner's going to change. Everything's going to change. But it's still going to be a reaction channel. But it's gonna be more than that. You feel me? I don't want to. It's not really a reaction channel anymore because I grew past reaction channels. Reactions. You feel me? Because it's more than reactions. You feel me? It's more than me. It's you guys. It's the fans. I want to represent you guys. You feel me? I don't want to just represent me. Walkers is just not Walker because it's Walkers because it's more than one. It's you guys and me. So that's why I put Walkers, not Walker Reacts. Walkers Reacts. But I say Walker React. Maybe I didn't know that. But Walker Reactions will always be here. The name will always be in my heart and everything like that. But let's just get into this video. It is what if you if you feed a person for 100 wheels and then farm them.
How are humans imagining the distant future? Flying cars, a journey to the far corners of outer space, and of course, a cure for every disease. Who wouldn't want to experience such a world? However, most of us simply don't have a long enough lifespan to wait for such a future. But fortunately, scientists have already figured out a way to cheat time: cryopreservation. This is a special way of refrigerating the human body, after which a person can return to life. Well, theoretically. What would really happen with the body if it was frozen for many years? I decided to carefully examine this issue. And, well, here's what I have for you. How did people first come up with the idea of freezing their bodies? It seems that hibernating animals are the ones to blame. This includes different rodents and hedgehogs, as well as bears. The concept is simple. When it gets cold and there's less available food, the animals immerse themselves into suspended animation. Their metabolism and life processes slow down, and body temperature drops significantly. For example, in the Arctic ground squirrel, it can drop to about -4 degrees Celsius or about 25 Fahrenheit in the abdominal cavity. However, these small rodents keep their heads and necks warm. So when hibernation comes to an end, these squirrels remain fully healthy and feel great. An even more interesting example is the wood frog. They're widespread in North America and in general are used to cold weather. Moreover, every year, these frogs freeze and then return to life. And this isn't even a metaphor. The wood frog has a very unusual...
They freeze and come back to life. I never knew that. I dead serious never knew that. That's why I'm just like, wait, what? Like, I never knew that. 100%. Comment down below if you knew that.
life cycle. It
What?
spends every winter in a frozen state. For 2 to 3 months, its body temperature remains at 6 degrees Celsius or about 21 Fahrenheit. At the same time, the frog's bodily functions stop. It doesn't breathe, and its heart stops beating. About 60% of the water inside its cells freezes. In the spring, the frog thaws, turns on its heart, warms up, and begins to live anew. How is this even possible? Scientists have found that in wood frogs, before hibernation, their liver increases 1.5 times, and the level of glycogen increases threefold. The freezing process itself occurs slowly, and during this period, the liver turns glycogen into glucose. This, in turn, allows cells to maintain their structure. But could a person survive such an extreme
Comment down below if you knew that. Like, dead serious if you knew that. Like, that's mind blowing. They say body and then they come back to life.
The human body is much more complicated. You can't just put a person in a freezer and then bring them out and hope they'll become themselves again. First of all, because of the characteristics of the blood, with a serious decrease in temperature, the blood, like many other fluids, begins to thicken and gradually freezes. It turns into bloody ice. And while you may be thinking that this would be a good title for a thriller, I'll first explain one simple thing. The blood itself, when it's turned into ice crystals, is already dangerous enough. And still, we plan to unfreeze this person. Here's where the problems begin. When thawing, these crystals will create many microcuts in the human circulatory system. It doesn't matter how much time has passed, a year, 10 or 100 years, absolutely all of the arteries, capillaries, and veins will suffer. And the organs too, not to mention brain death. Such damage will lead to internal bleeding and eventually to death. In general, to freeze a person, you'd need to come up with something more advanced than an ordinary freezer. Anything that would allow you to painlessly circumvent the laws of nature. As such, people invented cryonics. This is a low-temperature freezing, which is aimed at preserving cells, tissues, organs, other biological objects, and the whole body. Animals can also be frozen. The main thing is to restore...
Scratch that. No way I'm doing that. No way my kids are doing that too. No way my grandkids and... When I have kids.
Bodily functions after thawing. As a rule, cryopreservation is carried out at very low temperatures, about minus 80 degrees Celsius or about minus 112 Fahrenheit, using dry ice. Or at minus 196 Celsius, that's minus 321 Fahrenheit, using liquid nitrogen. But why so much? Or rather, why so low? In cryopreservation, any chemical activity that could harm biological material is stopped. Thanks to this, living objects can be preserved for as long as we want. Sounds good, right? First, scientists tried this on hamsters, then on individual cells of the human body, and all sorts of important fluids. Finally, in 1967, it was a person's turn. The first human body to be frozen in hopes of a future rebirth was James Bedford. He suffered from kidney cancer and therefore agreed to freeze his body after death. At some point in the future, will we be able to completely cure all forms of cancer? Until this happens, Bedford's body is cryopreserved at the Alcor Life Extension.
All right, guys, I'm in my super sick car, and I'm at my...
Ads. You know, I'm letting it play out. I'm letting it play out because I keep getting these ads.
Super sick mansion, and then... Oh, wait. I'm in an alley.
Foundation. But that was only the beginning. By 2019, more than 400 people had undergone cryopreservation in the United States. Another 1,500 have signed the necessary documents and are ready to freeze their bodies after death. Yes, by law, only a person after clinical death can undergo cryopreservation. That is, their heart cannot be beating. Before the brain cells have time to die, they're frozen with the help of vitrification, a special procedure that eliminates the formation of ice. Though legally, every frozen person is considered dead. No one knows if they can be revived. Nevertheless, more and more living people are starting to think about it. To date, scientists have no guarantees that a frozen person can be revived. On the other hand, if a person is buried, it certainly would never be possible. The choice, in general, is obvious. However, cryonics can be really expensive. In 2018, the preparation and storage of a person under freezing conditions ranged from $28,000 to $200,000 US. It's not surprising that quite wealthy people are usually the ones who chose to undergo this process. But what will happen to a person who will have spent many years in a freezing state? We can only speculate theoretically. A few years ago, scientists managed to unfreeze a rabbit's brain. Even after several weeks of freezing, the important connections between the neurons on which brain activity depends were intact. But is it possible to compare the brain of a rabbit to that of a whole person? I doubt it. Additionally, even freezing the body in liquid nitrogen would lead to the destruction of cells of many tissues due to ice crystals. How that would end, you already know. For certain, there's no possibility of resurrection in such a situation. But proponents of cryonics have a way of deceiving nature and the laws of physics. For example, by changing most of the fluids in the body to solutions of special substances. These solutions would not turn into crystals, which means that the body would not be damaged. Scientists also acknowledge that after thawing, the human brain will need major repairs. It'll be necessary to repair the damaged areas because there will certainly be such problems. And it's still unknown what will happen to an individual's personality after they come out of this frozen state. Will they remain themselves? Will they be completely sane? Okay, let's set the medical side of the issue aside for a moment and imagine that defrosting goes perfectly. A human who once lived hundreds of years ago will then wake up.
Go, please give me go. What? How did I get Iceland? Whatever. All I can do is fish to survive.
Up in a whole new world. It's unlikely that they will simply open their eyes and everything will be fine from the start. They'll have to build their life from scratch and get used to new technologies and rules. Who knows, maybe waking up after so many years wouldn't be so enjoyable. Whatever the case, all of this can be discussed only in theory. So far, humanity isn't very close to resurrecting the dead. But let's just give it some time.
Yo, this is just crazy. What? Like 100% crazy. Comment down below if you knew this, cause this is what? Like, if we freeze our bodies to death, if we freeze our bodies, then the blood is gonna be it's gonna be blisters. That's just crazy how it is. It's crazy how it is now. For real, that's crazy. That's what, usual notification, but that is crazy. Like 100% crazy. Like, yo, like you really could free someone. They have someone frozen because it's cancer, and they have him in a lab, and they never took him out. Damn. I feel like in the near future, that shit's gonna happen. Like, a lot of people is gonna go to that lab, pay that money, and yo, what? That's just crazy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Road to 300 subscribers. We're literally almost there. If you see that, it says red, and it says subscribe. Just hit it, bro, and then it makes it white. Make sure to subscribe. Come on, you know the deal. You feel me? And if you guys saying, oh, I don't have that much energy because I was working yesterday until 1 o'clock, so it's just like I don't have that much energy, but I'm still gonna upload this video for you guys. Well, I might not even edit it, but it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoy it. I'll see you guys, and peace.